The following has been brought to you by SJP World Media.
You're listening to In the Corner with BenNy Mac. Unfiltered.
People are starting to see exactly who you really are, and you're a hypocrite.
Uncensored.
What he's trying to say is Suplex City.
And unforgiving.
The only reason you were WWE Champion for a year is because Triple H didn't want to work Tuesday.
Here's the man in the corner, BenNy Mac.
And that's the bottom line, because the great one said so.
Hello and welcome to In the Corner here on SJP World Media. This is BenNy Mac. This is episode 61 of In the Corner. Technically season 2 because we're now past Money in the Bank, over a year of doing this this mad show. First off, apologies. There's been a bit of a break in between, but we are hopefully back up and running now, moving forward as per usual. As you probably noticed, we are, at least for the time being, not live. Got other things going on behind the scenes, so it's just a case of not being able to commit to that time slot, unfortunately. I love doing the live show. It is just myself on today's episode. Hopefully I have Tyler back very soon. We had holidays in between, and he had some time off as well, so it's good. But SummerSlam is very much fast approaching, obviously, and it's shaping up to be more of an interesting SummerSlam than I thought. But the next episode, we're talking more about our SummerSlam predictions and preview and stuff like that, and we'll talk about that. Hopefully be this Friday. So SummerSlam is Saturday. We'll release the episode on Friday, and Tyler will be with me hopefully to sit down and chat about SummerSlam and some other stuff. But it's been a couple of weeks. I have been watching the WWE and I've been watching the wrestling, and it's been pretty good. It's been a bit of a weird one in some cases, like the Trish Stratus, Becky Lynch one. I see a lot of people online talking about this should be happening at SummerSlam. And do you know what? Should it, though? Because it's not been overly an amazing build for me personally. But by all accounts, we found out this week on Raw, in 2 weeks' time, we will have a match between the two in Trish's hometown, of all places. So, the crowd's going to be very much, you would assume, in Trish's corner. So we'll see what happens with that, basically. But yeah, episode 61 of this In the Corner show, and we'll go for some Raw. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to talk about it now, actually, because Ricochet versus Logan Paul, I was not really overly keen on it initially, mainly because of the interaction on Raw a few weeks ago, where instead of punching this punk kid in the mouth, calling, a guy who Ricochet's been doing it for 15, 20 years, calling him I can't even know what he called him, but it was like, why? But then, if you heard the show, you know what I'm on about. But basically, he hit the sliced bread on him. So just punch the guy in the mouth, man, which this week was rectified on Raw because they had a good altercation. Ricochet actually bringing in Ricochet's fiance, who's the ring announcer, Samantha Irvin. And just the phrasing, I wish was slightly different by Logan Paul here, which Logan Paul said it's going to be hard for his fiance to announce Logan Paul as the winner. I wish Logan Paul had just said, "How's it going to feel when your girl says my name?" Just that alone would have been enough. But then the fight ensued, and they actually did. Ricochet actually took Logan Paul down and actually double leg takedown and a couple of punches, and it got into a bit of a brawl. Ultimately, Logan Paul ended up with the lucky punch in air quotes, which you can't see on an audio, obviously. But weirdly, after that altercation, it's not been perfect. But actually, I'm quite looking forward to seeing how this play out. It's probably going to be a spot fest, isn't it? Let's face it. Which I don't necessarily mind, but you don't necessarily need. I say I don't mind it. It needs to be coherent and make sense, not just doing backflips for the sake of it. We'll see. I'm actually a little bit more excited about the match after what was said by Logan Paul. It's made it a bit more personal it could have been phrased better, as I said, but I think it's made it a tad more personal than what I initially thought from the two. But interesting. There's been a lot of talk about possibly a Randy Orton return. Also a Rock return as well. That's another one. Even a Bray Wyatt return at SummerSlam. There's a lot of speculation around SummerSlam this Saturday on who's going to return. Now, I read a report that was put up a couple of hours ago. Now, again, this could be just a good way of keeping the surprise, but apparently Randy Orton is not quite medically cleared for SummerSlam. But I'm kind of hoping that's just like a little, like, no, he's not going to be there, but actually he will be, you know. And the Bray Wyatt thing, I feel like, I don't know if Bray Wyatt does come back. He's got to do something big, hasn't he, right? He's got to do something big. Whereas Randy Orton, I think the fans just want to see him back. And we did see on Raw this week, Matt Riddle get defeated by Ludwig Kaiser. I'm not going to say clean, but relatively clean. I mean, his Imperium teammates kind of did a brief distraction, but the match went on long enough to for Riddle to sort of capitalize. So I wouldn't say necessarily clean. I would say, but it was a good match. Ludwig Kaiser beating Matt Riddle. I feel like at some point we're going to have somebody's going to be beating down Riddle and Randy Orton's going to come back, possibly. Maybe even Randy Orton's just going to come back and RKO him. I don't know. But as the reports, a lot of people, I mean, there's even reports of Rock being at SummerSlam. That's not been confirmed either. But why would they confirm it? All right, I'm not saying The Rock will be, but let's take Randy, Bray, and Randy and Bray. Let's just take those. Those are more likely for me to happen than maybe a Rock. Don't get me wrong. If Rock does turn up in Detroit, oh my God, that place is going to explode. I'm looking forward to the Jey Uso Roman match. Again, we'll get into the predictions hopefully on Friday's show, so we will leave those. But I'm not going to lie, as I was leading up to this pay-per-view, it's been a bit lackluster for me personally, but as these few weeks have been going, it's been quite good. I just want to say quickly, there is going to be a Battle Royal apparently at SummerSlam. The SummerSlam Battle Royal. It's not really stated what it's for, other than it's just a Battle Royal. Maybe a little dangling of a carrot, maybe of some sort of like potential title opportunity, but again, it depends who wins it, doesn't it, on what show. Either way, whoever wins it can use it as a bit of momentum, I guess, going forward. So we'll see what happens. It's a good way of getting everybody on the card as well. I guess Becky Lynch was supposed to have a match on Raw. It was made impromptu with Adam Pearce, but basically Becky Lynch did win, but it was literally the match started and Zoe Stark got in and attacked Becky in, so she won by DQ. So the match, this is why we're leading into that thing in 2 weeks' time. I personally, a lot of people are moaning that it's not at SummerSlam. I mean, I don't know what you think. Let me know at In the Corner WWE on Twitter. But it's just hasn't been a good enough. I like Trish and I like Becky. Trish Stratus, obviously Hall of Famer. A good thing to have on the TV. I'm not disputing that, but the actual storyline itself has not been. I think there was a big gap in between, wasn't there? So it kind of fizzled out. So it is building back up, but I would hope that in 2 weeks on Raw, this would be the last time we see these two and Becky's just got to go over, I guess. But I'm not overly invested in it at all. Again, let me know at In the Corner WWE on Twitter. Let me know what you think. Moving on, a very good video package was put together with hyping up Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey's MMA rules match at SummerSlam. Again, this came out of nowhere for me. Money in the Bank attack happened, and I was like, oh, okay. I was expecting this to happen a bit down the line. Obviously, SummerSlam's coming up as a big pay-per-view, but the video package has done a brilliant... If you haven't seen it, seek it out on YouTube or something, but if you haven't seen it, I'll try and share it on the Twitter page as well. But it's done a masterful job, and this is where WWE shine for me, is the video packages, the way they take the content they've got and they put it together in this brilliant, and the performances by both women talking about it. I won't spoil it necessarily in terms of what they said, but the way they did it is hyped me up to no end to actually see this MMA fight. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. There's a lot of rumors around Ronda Rousey at the moment, apparently leaving WWE after this. If that is the case, I've been a massive Shayna Baszler fan since NXT, and I personally believe Shayna Baszler should win this. Again, I wasn't going to get into some predictions, but just the way I feel right now. And that won't change, so that's not really a spoiler in a sense of... Well, it is a spoiler for Friday, I guess, but... yeah, that's one of my predictions. We'll leave it at that for the rest of it. Again, we're going to get into a lot more about SummerSlam itself in the preview on Friday with Tyler. So that's the hope anyway. But the video package was brilliant overall. Let's quickly move on to Shinsuke Nakamura defeated Tommaso Ciampa via pinfall, the roll-up, while holding Ciampa's tights. I believe both of these men are in the Battle Royal at SummerSlam. So this is a rivalry that's at the beginning. It's starting to heat up a little bit. Where this goes, I'm not sure. Rhea Ripley, Judgment Day, looking fantastic in a minute. Very interesting, which we'll get into the main event in a moment. But the whole Judgment Day in the ring, basically saying, Kevin Owens, we've injured you, we've injured Liv Morgan, and then Raquel Rodriguez comes out, gets into a bit of a brawl between Rhea and Rodriguez. Dominic Mysterio kind of distracts Rodriguez, which leads to Rhea Ripley injuring Rodriguez. So we're building up to that. Probably the next PLE, I guess, pay-per-view for the older fans. Talking about Kevin Owens quickly, he has recently done an interview. I think it was a Montreal paper. I did bring it up a minute ago. But basically, he's unsure. He's got about a year and a half left on his contract, and he's currently injured. And we don't know how long he's going to be out for at this juncture. But he doesn't know, after his year and a half is up, what he will be doing. He basically stated, I'd like to still be in WWE. I'd like to still keep going. I'd like to be involved in WWE. Now, whether that means he wrestles or whether that means he helps out backstage or whatever it is he's going to do, what does this mean? So in a year and a half's time, we got Kevin Owens for at least. So whether he strikes a new deal, this is a 3-year contract he had, which is obviously, we got about, I think he said year and a half. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, a year and a half left. So is he going to stay with WWE? We got a bit of time. Hopefully he does. I think since the Triple H sort of era's kind of kicked in, we're starting to see not just KO, a few ladies and gents in WWE getting more opportunities, or at least more TV time, a bit more pushing. It's been a bit up and down with the women's division in the tag team style thing, but overall the women's division in terms of the main titles I think have got a lot better. It also seems like the brand split is once again kind of null and void. I think it was just a good way of getting the World Heavyweight Championship implemented again. Dominic Mysterio's floating all over. He's been on 1 week, last week. Rey Mysterio main evented Raw, main evented NXT, and main evented SmackDown. For those who don't know, Dominic Mysterio is now the NXT North American champion. The boos that guy gets, again, we'll talk more about this on the Friday show, but doing really well. But quickly back to Kevin Owens is what I was actually talking about. Again, we don't know how long he's going to be out for. And also, the next year and a half is going to be. He said, "I just want to focus and enjoying everything as much as you can." He says there's not really a worry about winning a title or main eventing WrestleMania or any of that stuff anymore, which is the dreams that everybody has, because I've been so blessed and gotten to do all of that. So I just want to have fun and want to give people fun times to remember me by. So he's not necessarily, he's not in a place where, based on that interview, he's not in a place where he's like, I must be the champion, I must be this. He wants to have fun. And you know what I find, if we take Brock Lesnar for a second, Brock Lesnar seems to be outside looking in, and it's been said by others in interviews at least, that he seems to be having a lot more fun this time around. Okay, his schedule is completely different to what KO's is when he's fully healed. But what I'm getting at is that when people are happier, people are having fun in their job, then to them it's not work. Obviously, wrestling, you could argue whether it's work. It's a lot of grueling days. I don't dispute that at all. It's not a real job, as some people will say. I think it is. It's a full time. You're on all the time. You got to be fit. You got to be ready. You got to be, So I'm not saying that, but my point is when people are having fun, and I find the wrestlers and or not just wrestling, entertainment in general. When people are having fun with it, it comes across to the audience, and it's a lot more enjoyable viewing. So actually, him having this much fun, hopefully going forward once he's back, will actually endear him to a lot more people, which could actually push him back to that main event level, if that makes any sense. I hope that makes sense. It does in my head. It doesn't mean it's coming out verbally correct, Probably one of the matches of the night for Raw this week. Gunther versus Chad Gable did a 5-minute challenge, and Gunther was saying, I could beat you in less than 5 minutes. So they did a 5-minute match. Chad Gable essentially won, handed Gunther a loss technically, but Gunther informed this match wasn't over, and it went on for a bit longer, and for another probably 5, 7, 8 minutes, something like that. Really good match, really enjoyed it. I can see Chad Gable. I think Chad Gable's freaking brilliant, personally. Me and Tyler talk about him all the time. The stuff that guy can do is brilliant, and I think we've yet to see the best of him. But it was a nice showing from Chad Gable. Ultimately, Gunther did defeat Chad Gable. Gunther was obviously defending the Intercontinental Championship at SummerSlam against Drew McIntyre. Looking forward to that replay. Again, we'll leave the predictions for the Friday show. But I really enjoyed the match. I'm not going to say it wasn't like a 20-minute, 25-minute, 30-minute freaking barn burner or anything, but it was a good match, and I enjoyed it. And I always enjoy watching Chad Gable have a match. And it's hard to see him having, at least at the moment, a bad match with anybody. But him versus Gunther as good prospects going forward I could actually see Chad Gable beating Gunther. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just, the submission side of it, the wrestling side of it, the chops, just it could be an absolute. I think, again, Gunther's somebody who can have a pretty damn good match with anybody as well. So, interesting going forward. I don't know what's going to happen with Alpha Academy. I'm enjoying what they're doing at the moment with Maxine Dupree and Otis and stuff. I'm actually enjoying the Alpha Academy. So, I want to see a bit more success for them. Whether we're going to see more. I'm surprised Maxine Dupree at first felt like she was going to be the wedge between those two, and that those two were going to maybe go their separate ways and have a bit of a feud and then move on. But they haven't done that. So whether that's going to be a thing down the line, I don't know. But I do enjoy Chad Gable in the ring. He's like a mini Kurt Angle. Yeah, I'm hoping that's a compliment. So me personally. Main event was Seth Rollins and Sami Zayn taking on the Judgment Day in Damian Priest and Dominic Mysterio. We did have Rhea and Dominic ringside. There was a good moment between Damian Priest had Seth Rollins down and called for Finn Balor to give him the briefcase, and Finn Balor hesitated, then went, hit the briefcase and then handed it over. By the time he handed it over, Sami Zayn got involved, and then it just all broke down. Dominic took a great bump off the I think it was the briefcase, actually flew back. It's almost like a Rock taking a stunner type thing. It was quite funny. The hesitation cost Priest and Mysterio ultimately, as Rollins was able to take out both men before Zayn took out Balor, and then the setup to the finish, which was a curb stomp. And we have Finn Balor versus Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. The Money in the Bank briefcase, I honestly believe, is going to play a key component this weekend. Again, we'll talk about that on Friday. I'm actually more excited now about Brock versus Cody. This is the third time. The video package this week from WWE and there's a brand new song as well, which I really liked. I've never heard it before. I say it's a brand new song. It came out this year anyway, but it's called Daylight. By David Kushner. So David, Kushner, and it's called Daylight. And if you haven't seen the promo, again, I recommend it. The Shayna Baszler and the Ronda preview, the promo video was really good, and so was the Brock versus Cody. Brock was in the ring, Cody came down, and ultimately Brock just Cody tried to jump Brock, it backfired, and Brock left Cody laying again, so making Cody look like he's got no chance for SummerSlam. Moving forward, I would like to think that Cody's going to win this. Again, we'll talk about that more the week on Friday before SummerSlam comes out here on SGP Raw Media. And that's about it, really, to be honest, ladies and gents. A quick podcast, just say hello again. I hope you're all doing well. A lot more coming, obviously, hopefully Friday. Follow the show at In The Corner WWE on Twitter. Follow the podcast network at SJP World Media on Twitter, Facebook, and all that. It's good to be back. 61 episodes now. Technically season 2 of this mad thing. We'll bring a lot more. Obviously, we're back to sort of recording at the moment because, as I said at the top of the show, if you weren't, for some reason, didn't hit play at the beginning, I don't know why you wouldn't do that. It's weird. But yeah, we're going forward, going back to sort of, at least a Wednesday an episode will come out, and I'm hoping to do a lot more anyway, as I said. We're hopefully going to move forward, do some Patreon stuff on BenNy Mac Productions as well, diving more into rumours and stuff like that. But mainly, like I said, on SJP War Media. Hopefully doing another project soon as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it, ladies and gents. I can't really give you much more than that. Will Randy Orton return? Will Bray Wyatt return? Will Rock be at SummerSlam this Saturday? Unlikely. I would say there's more chance of Randy and Bray possibly returning, but Bray needs a good showing. If he does return, he needs a good showing. He needs to move forward, and we need to see Bray like undefeated for 3-4 months and him absolutely dominate for a while. And whether that leads into a title shot, whether that leads into something else, I don't know. But if Bray Wyatt is back and he's healthy, he just needs to move forward with a lot of wins, doesn't he? Randy Orton would be amazing to see Randy Orton back in Detroit. I'm more excited for Randy Orton's return, to be honest. If The Rock does come out, don't get me wrong, like I said, if The Rock does come out, it would be absolutely, that place would go bananas. And I didn't touch upon it. I'm assuming the Jey Roman match is the main event. Now, they keep advertising this pay-per-view like several main events. Now, they're all main event worthy, but let's face it, no matter what show you're on, if you're the last match on the card, you are the main event, aren't you? So I never will agree with this multi. But I understand it's to sell the pay-per-view, isn't it, in the PLE? So anyway, this is BenNy Mac. This is SJP Raw Media. This is In The Corner. Follow us at In The Corner WWE on Twitter, and we will see you again, hopefully, on Friday.
Loved what you've heard on this week's episode? Well, the answer is simple. It would mean the world to us if you could head over to iTunes and leave us a 5-star review and feedback. Spreading the word really is the best way to grow our podcast and achieve even greater things. Thank you.